Welcome back to Mind Over Matter, the podcast where science meets the mysterious. I'm Maya Chen.
And I'm Marcus Thompson. Today we're diving into something that's happened to pretty much everyone listening. Those eerie moments when coincidence feels like something more.
Synchronicity. When the universe seems to wink at you.
Or when your pattern-seeking brain plays tricks on you. But actually, Maya, I have to admit something. I had one of these experiences just last month, and it's been messing with my skeptical worldview ever since.
Oh, this is good. Tell me.
So I'm in Reykjavik Airport, random layover, right? I'm half asleep, shuffling to get coffee, and I literally bump into Maya Chen. We went to elementary school together, haven't spoken in maybe 20 years.
Okay, that's a coincidence, but...
Here's the thing. The night before, I had this vivid dream about him. We were kids again, playing basketball in his driveway. I woke up thinking, wonder what Danny's up to. And then, 12 hours later, there he is, in Iceland.
Okay, now we're talking. What did you feel in that moment?
Honestly, like the universe was messing with me, which is exactly why we need to talk about this.
So let's start with the term itself. Synchronicity was coined by Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist, back in the 1950s.
Jung was fascinated by these meaningful coincidences, events that seem related not by cause and effect, but by meaning. He thought there was some kind of a causal connecting principle at work.
Right, and this is important. Jung wasn't just talking about any coincidence. He meant coincidences that carry emotional or symbolic significance to the person experiencing them.
So me finding a $20 bill on the street isn't synchronicity, even though it's lucky.
Exactly. But if you found that 20 right after thinking about your grandmother who always used to give you $20 bills, and it was the anniversary of her death, that starts to feel different.
The meaning is projected by us, though. That's a key question, right?
We'll get there. But first, let me give you some classic examples. Jung himself had a famous one. He was treating a patient who was describing a dream about a golden scarab beetle.
And at that exact moment, a real scarab beetle flew into his office and hit the window.
A rose chafer, technically, which is the closest thing to a scarab in Switzerland. But yes, Jung said that breakthrough moment helped the patient, who was too rational and closed off.
See, I love that story, but I also think about how many therapy sessions Jung had in his career. Thousands, right? A beetle hitting a window once in thousands of sessions, even when being discussed, isn't that improbable?
But the timing, Marcus. The precise timing.
Fair point. What are some other famous examples?
Oh, tons. There's the whole thing with Lincoln and Kennedy, the weird parallels. Both assassinated on a Friday, in the presence of their wives. Lincoln's secretary was named Kennedy. Kennedy's secretary was named Lincoln. Their successors were both named Johnson.
Okay, but that one's been pretty thoroughly debunked. When you actually list all the differences between them and realize people cherry-pick the similarities, it falls apart.
True, that's a good example of our bias to notice matches and ignore mismatches. But here's one I find more compelling. Anthony Hopkins, the actor, was cast in a film based on a book called The Girl from Petrovka. He went to London to buy a copy and couldn't find it anywhere. Then he found a copy someone had left on a bench in a train station.
Let me guess, it was the author's personal copy?
With the author's annotations. George Pfeiffer, the author, had lent it to a friend who lost it. Years later, Hopkins met Pfeiffer and was able to return his book.
Okay, that one's pretty wild.
Right. Now, we can talk about the odds. But in the moment, these experiences feel profound.
And that's where we need to bring in the math. Because our intuitions about probability are terrible.
Here we go.
No, seriously. There's this principle called the law of truly large numbers. It basically says that with a large enough sample size, any outrageous thing is likely to happen.
Explain that for our listeners.
Okay, so take the classic birthday paradox. If you have 23 people in a room, what are the odds that 2 of them share a birthday?
Most people would guess pretty low, right? Like maybe 5 or 10%.
Exactly, but it's actually over 50%. With just 70 people in a room, it's 99.9% certain that two share a birthday. Our brains just can't handle these probabilities intuitively.
So you're saying your Iceland airport thing was just math?
I'm saying we need to consider it. There are 8 billion people on Earth. You personally know maybe a few thousand people over your lifetime. How many airports are there? How many flights per day?
So eventually, someone runs into someone they know somewhere random.
And when it happens to you, it feels magical. But we don't hear about the millions of times people don't run into anyone they know.
Okay, but what about the dream? You dreamed about Danny the night before. That's where it gets interesting. How many dreams do we have per night? Multiple. How many people do we dream about over a month? Dozens. Probably. Most of the time, nothing happens and we forget the dream completely. So you're saying we only remember the hits and forget the misses?
Exactly. That confirmation bias. We notice when the dream matches reality, but we don't keep a running tally of all the dreams that didn't predict anything.
There's something else going on too. Neurologically. Our brains are pattern recognition machines.
Oh, you're talking about apophenia.
Apophenia is seeing patterns in random data. It's actually an evolutionary advantage. Better to see a pattern that isn't there than to miss a real threat.
Like seeing a face in the clouds or a predator in the bushes that's actually just wind.
Exactly. And there's this related phenomenon called the Bader-Meinhof effect, or frequency illusion.
That's when you learn a new word and suddenly you see it everywhere.
You bought a blue Honda Civic, and now you notice blue Honda Civics on every street. They were always there, but your brain is now tuned to spot them.
So when I dreamed about Danny, maybe my brain was primed to recognize him. If I'd passed someone else from elementary school in that airport, maybe I wouldn't have even noticed them.
Possibly. But here's what I find fascinating. Even knowing all of this, even understanding the cognitive biases and the probability, these experiences still feel meaningful. Why is that? So let's talk about memory and emotion, because that's where this gets really interesting. Our memories aren't like video recordings. They're reconstructed every time we recall them.
That's the real question, isn't it? You mean we're constantly rewriting our own memories?
In a sense, yes. Each time you remember something, you're rebuilding it from fragments, and those fragments can be influenced by your current emotional state, your beliefs, even other memories.
So when I had that experience in Iceland, my brain might have actually enhanced the memory of the dream.
It's possible. You wake up. You have a vague dream about childhood. Throughout the day, maybe you have a fleeting thought about elementary school friends. You don't even register it consciously. Then you see Danny, and suddenly your brain connects the dots and creates this vivid narrative.
That's a little unsettling.
Welcome to consciousness. But here's the thing, there's a reason our brains do this. Finding meaning and patterns helped our ancestors survive. Humans are meaning-making machines.
We can't help but create narratives.
Exactly. There's actually research on this called the narrative paradigm. We don't just experience life as a series of random events. We automatically organize it into stories with causes, effects, and meaning.
And coincidences disrupt that narrative. They are events without a clear cause, so our brain tries to fit them into a story somehow.
Right. Which is why synchronicities often happen during major life transitions. Breakups, job changes, grief. When we're emotionally vulnerable, we're more likely to seek meaning.
That makes sense. When my dad died a few years ago, I kept seeing cardinals everywhere. He loved cardinals. For weeks, I felt like he was sending me signs.
And was that helpful to you?
Yeah, actually, it was.
That's the thing, Marcus. Even if we can explain the mechanism, confirmation bias, emotional salience, pattern recognition, that doesn't mean the experience is worthless. It provided comfort.
But there's a danger there too, right? If we see patterns that aren't there, we might make decisions based on false connections.
Absolutely. Superstitious thinking, conspiracy theories, gambling fallacies, they all exploit this same pattern-seeking tendency.
So where's the line between healthy meaning-making and unhealthy pattern obsession?
I think it's about flexibility. Can you hold the experience as meaningful to you personally while also acknowledging it might be coincidence? Or do you start building your entire worldview around it? Speaking of personal experiences, we asked our listeners to send in their synchronicity stories, and we got hundreds of responses.
People love talking about this stuff.
They do. And I want to share one that really struck me. This is from a listener named Sarah. She writes, 10 years ago, my best friend Emma and I had a falling out. It was bad. We didn't speak for a decade. Last month, I was cleaning out my garage and found a box of old photos. I pulled out this picture of Emma and me at the beach, both wearing these ridiculous matching sun hats. I sat there crying, thinking I should reach out. But I was scared.
Oh no, I can see where this is going.
That same afternoon, I went to the grocery store. I'm in the produce section, and I hear someone say, "Nice melons." I turn around, and it's Emma. She's holding a cantaloupe and grinning at me. We both started laughing, then crying. We've been talking every day since.
Okay, that's a good one.
Right. Now, let's analyze it. Marcus, what are the odds?
Well, okay, they live in the same city, presumably. They probably shop at stores in overlapping areas. Over 10 years, there's been some probability of running into each other the whole time.
But the timing, the same day she found the photo and was thinking about reaching out.
Here's what I'd say. Maybe Sarah had been unconsciously thinking about Emma for a while. These thoughts have been bubbling under the surface. She happens to find the photos, which brings it into conscious awareness. Now she's in a heightened emotional state, more likely to notice Emma if she does see her.
But she didn't just notice her. They literally ran into each other hours later.
Which might not have happened if Sarah wasn't in that emotional state. Maybe Sarah lingered at the store longer, browsed more sections. Maybe her body language was different, more open.
Or maybe, and hear me out, Emma was also thinking about Sarah that day. Maybe they were both in a psychological space where they were ready to reconnect, and that influenced their behavior in ways that made the meeting more likely.
That's not supernatural, though. That's just people having similar thoughts influenced by similar life circumstances.
Does it have to be supernatural to be meaningful?
No, I guess it doesn't. So here's where I want to push back a little on my own skepticism. There are aspects of consciousness and reality that we genuinely don't understand yet.
Ooh, careful, Marcus. You're going to lose your skeptic card.
I know. But quantum mechanics has shown us that reality is weirder than we thought. Entanglement, observer effects, there's genuine mystery there.
Are you saying quantum mechanics explains synchronicity?
No. God, no. That's a trap that pseudoscience falls into all the time. But I'm saying we should hold space for uncertainty. Just because we can explain something through probability and psychology doesn't mean we've explained everything.
I love this. So what's the difference between explaining the mechanism and explaining away the experience?
The mechanism is how our brains create meaning from random events. But that doesn't answer why it matters to us, why these experiences can genuinely change our lives.
Like the cardinals after your dad died.
Exactly. Understanding that it was confirmation bias didn't make it less comforting. It didn't make me feel less connected to him.
And I think that's the key. You don't need supernatural explanation for something to be profound. The fact that your human brain, shaped by evolution, creates meaning and connection and comfort, that's incredible all on its own.
It's like meaning doesn't require magic. It requires consciousness, memory, emotion.
All of which are already kind of magical when you think about it.
Fair point. So here's my take. Synchronicities are real experiences. They happen. Whether they are messages from the universe or products of our pattern-seeking brains, they are valuable because they connect us to something, to other people, to our own deeper thoughts, to a sense of wonder. And we can appreciate both the statistical explanation and the personal significance. They don't cancel each other out.
Exactly.
So, listeners, we want to hear from you. Have you experienced synchronicity? How did it affect you?
And more importantly, did understanding the psychology behind it make it more or less meaningful? Send us your stories.
You can find us on all the social platforms or email us through our website.
And Marcus, one last question. Are you going to stay in touch with Danny?
Actually, yes. We got coffee when I got back home. Turns out we have a lot to catch up on.
C. Synchronicity working its magic.
Or probability playing out exactly as expected.
Same difference.
I'm Maya Chen.
And I'm Marcus Thompson.
Thanks for listening.